Hey guys, how's it going? It is August 2nd, 2017, 6:25 p.m. And yeah, I just figured I'd go with this background because it looks kind of cool. Wow, that's a lot of clouds. That's the most clouds I've seen in the desert in a while. Nice moon too. The right time and day. Oh wait a minute. Hold on a second here. August 2nd, just at 12 noon for some reason. Here, I'll apply that. Hey, where did my moon go? Okay, how about we set the system time? Ooh, that's even better. But I should bring this back to... That's better. Wow. Amazing how that changes. Whoa! Damn! I had a funny feeling that was going to happen. Or did it change just now when I got out of it? I don't know. Well, thunder's okay. We like thunder. Looked like I was right on top of it. Okay. What do I want to look here? Oh, things are moving. That's good. I will get to what I was going to talk about. We'll go on the porch here. Sounds like a plan. I don't even know where the storm's coming from. I never know where the storms are coming from. They all look like clouds to me. Okay, whatever. So let's just sit on the roof. There's a good idea. We'll look this way for now and then something like that. How about that? Okay, enough of this. So, anyways, so I have the storms interrupt me a few times, which is fine and dandy. I don't care. I just figured I'd put a background up and because I got a lot to talk about. Eventually, I think, as I've mentioned in the description, I am going to get back to programming. I am recording, am I not? I think I am. Hello. Yep. Okay. I want to make sure. But, yeah, I think the storm was there until I changed the time. I could be wrong, but it looks a lot like clouds and crap. But, so anyways, enough talking about the weather forecast here. So, there's been a lot on my mind. Now the fans, because nothing's running except in the fan in my room, the audio distorts a little bit. I'm going to turn this way and see if it helps, but I don't know. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It should be loud enough. But it cuts out every now and then. I think it does something with the voice. I noticed that the other day, and but if you're running a train, you don't notice it as much. The game sounds go in there as well, so you barely notice it. But it is hot as hell in here right now. We're getting some pretty humid weather. Was it 85 degrees out in California? I think we're getting about that. It was up to 30 earlier, but I said I wasn't going to talk about the damn weather. All of a sudden I got on the weather again. But anyways. So I've been trying to figure out exactly where my motivation is these days. What's driving me? What really is important to me? And you may have noticed, I don't know if this is true or not, and I'd have to check all my YouTube videos to find out. But I'm still doing live streams, but I'm not just doing. I've always changed things up a little bit, but I'm not doing as many Run8 videos as I was. I wasn't doing, and the thing is, people are getting interested because I'm still getting comments and people who are coming on and checking out my live streams, which is very encouraging. It's very encouraging when people comment about my programming and looking forward to it and all that. So those things are very encouraging. However, I can't deny how I'm feeling. Now, this doesn't mean I'm leaving Run 8. It doesn't mean that I need to take a break. I posted that a while ago, not too long ago. I posted on the forum, and I thought that this would be what I needed to do, but then suddenly I had some motivation with the programming or something like that, and then I really haven't got into it that much. And then I started thinking about all the things I could do. I don't know what exactly the reasons behind it is. I'm not sure. I could dispatch and run my own territories, or I could run with my kid if I wanted to. There's all kinds of things that I can do, but the motivation for me, I don't think is there like it used to be. I've been doing this for 5 years, and it's supposed to be the 5-year anniversary coming up. I think it's next month or this month or something like that. But I've already been doing it for over 5 years actually, because I was probably early summer, late spring of that year that I joined the beta team, and so RTS was being set up at the same time. There was a lot of excitement back then. I mean, Run 8 was night and day compared to anything else, and quite frankly still is. But something happened with me on this trip that I just recently had. And I mean, I've been over 2 weeks removed from it. I'm not I'm not in any situation. I got a long weekend coming up, actually, believe it or not. At the end of this third week since coming back from vacation, I have a long weekend coming up. Monday's a holiday for me. I don't know where I'm going. I've been toying with the idea of going to Fostoria. Then I'm thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I really don't feel like it. Really, my heart of hearts wants to go up into northern Ontario or something central Ontario and get out on the water. That's really what I want to do. That's something I actually enjoyed doing while I was on Vancouver Island on my vacation there. Didn't do much of it, but for that one little trip, we actually went down the rapids. It was one of the cool things we did on our trip. Was we rode in. My son was in an inner tube, and these are like really modest rapids, but they have this area where you basically go tubing down this lazy. It's a lazy river that turns into basically rapids and all. What I didn't have shorts, bathing suit, or anything. I was in a boat, an inflatable boat, a little bit smaller than the one that I have. Now, I haven't had that out in 3 years. Today at lunch, I was thinking, man, I just want to get back out. So these are the things I miss. These are the things that I want to do. And now I'm looking, it's beginning of August. I'd have to get my kid a life jacket and all that. So really my thoughts of summer is really focused on doing, but it's not just that. Even when I'm in here, I there's certain video games I want to play with my son. There's certain things I want to do. When I come home at night, when I'm not with my kid, that's when it's an open. It used to be an open and closed shut case as far as what I was going to do. It was going to be something to do with Run 8, and it is tonight. And I'm going to focus on Run 8 tonight, for the most part. At least this video, try to explain to you guys what it is I'm feeling. I've already sent some messages out today, some feelers. I see others going through some similar struggles. I emailed Mike, and that's first and foremost. I was dispatching last night, and I couldn't even last the entire time I wanted to, and I was tired, and I don't know, and I shouldn't have been tired, but for whatever reason I was tired. But I told him I'd go back tomorrow night, but I was going to try to come on a little bit later and see how that goes. But so I emailed Mike. I let him know that pretty much if I hadn't, and it was a long email, so I'll try to explain. I wanted people to understand how I'm feeling too. Now, he got a pretty long email from me. Scott, who often checks I was on his server for a couple of times. I couldn't really find the motivation to really do much of anything. And it has nothing to do with Scott. It just, you know, if I really wanted to run a route, or if I really was excited, um, and there's a lot with, you know, here's the thing. I got ready for my trip at the end of June. I headed out, and I was gone for, you know, basically out. I knew I was going to be gone for Run8 for at least 3 weeks at that point. When I came back, I didn't miss it, and I realized that I wasn't looking forward to getting back into Run8. I wasn't, you know, longing to get back into it. There wasn't that sense of feeling like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get home tonight so I can fire up Run8. Maybe part of that's the reason why it has to do with the fact that I actually, for the most part, enjoy my job. So there's maybe that's sending false signals. So it's not, you know, it's wanting to do something you really want to do, whereas I can just get home and relax and do whatever I want half the time, or do something with, like, you know, my son on the days I see him. But um, there's real world situations going on too, like geopolitical stuff, which I've also had. You know, yeah, I'm getting it out of my system now, as far as some of the things that bothered me over the weekend, which kind of took me away from Run8. Um, you know, bottom line is you can only control what you can control. Um, and that plays true for Run8 too. So with saying that, I know I can't magically make new routes appear. Only Run8 can do that. The guys at Run8 are the ones that have to do that. But for me personally, I've been saying this, um, the fact that the only expansion that I'm looking forward to is Florida. That's the only one. And the only reason why is because it's going to add so much operational value, in my opinion, to that route. It's a great route as it is. I find it, you know, it's a great route. It was a fun. Actually, I had a lot of fun the other night. A week or so ago, I was on. I had a blast running that. Um, so I mean, I certainly do have fun with Run8. It's just that whole, oh, I can't wait to see you. Maybe it's like the honeymoon phase, and finally version two's, you know, through that honeymoon phase where now it's, you know, you're so you and the whole term honeymoon phase is all about when you're in love with something, and then suddenly, you know, you just can't wait, and everything's about it, and then suddenly everything isn't really about it anymore. There's more things in life, and then you realize, you know, there's other things. It may be a very important thing to you, but it's not the thing, or it's not everything, I should say. Probably more like that. So I I had some time to think today, a lot more. It was a little bit of a quieter day, a little bit less stress, because it actually has been stressful since I got back, somewhat more than I expected. And personally, I've been able to handle it because I'm well refreshed. Everything, you know, I've been able to get through what I have to get through. I wasn't dreading going back to work. You know, it is what it is. I certainly think a lot about my vacation. Many, you know, times something will remind me. I mean, we have places I ship to that I actually saw on the trip, out in the prairies, that we ship, because basically I ship food, vegetable machinery parts, for food processing industry, for, you know, places like that do, you know, frozen foods, and you know, TV dinners, and all kinds of stuff. You know, potatoes, you name it. It's um, a lot. Frito, you know, you got Frito Lay in there. You got McCain. You got, I don't even know if these are well known names in the states so much, but um, there's a lot of um, um, you know, we're a major distributor for that, and I'm shipper receiver So I ship things out to them. I ship machinery parts. I ship even machines. I got a ship right now. Actually, speaking of ships, I have a ship right now that is sailing somewhere above Scotland. That's coming for Campbell's soup. Oh, Campbell's soup. What am I talking about? Wait a minute. Hang on a second here. I'm getting. Oh yeah, no, I was right. It is Campbell's soup. Or the Campbell's Company, or whatever they call that. But yeah, it's some machinery coming from Europe. I mean, we get supplies from. We have suppliers both in the United States. This one's from the Netherlands. So, but anyways, I don't know how I got on that, but anyways, so yeah, things were rather calm today, and I had a lot of time where I didn't have to think about the job so much. Well, because what happens is I drive and I go pick up things. I go pick up parts from. We're just across the border. I work in Niagara Falls, Ontario, where I grew up most of my life. I'm just beside the next city over in St. Catharines, so it's an easy commute. So I get to think a little bit on my commute. I get to think a little bit at lunch because I get 1 hour lunches. I get to I get to think while I'm driving back and forth with my, like I do customs clearing. I bring all the parts over. So I get a lot of time to think about things. And today was one of those days where I finally started connecting some of the dots as to what's, I think, going on, but I don't know for sure. Like I said before, I can't change if Run8, what Run8's going to do or what's going to happen. Now, there was a time where they were talking about editors. We don't know what that means. We haven't got a clue. Only they know what that means. And they're pretty good at keeping secrets. We don't know what routes are coming. We used to. We used to know what routes were being developed. We used to know what cars and engines were coming. We used to know all that stuff. We don't have a clue. I wish there was, they did a better job at doing that, but then again, does it really matter? I don't know. It could in the long run, because people like myself, it was like, okay, is this it? And don't get me wrong, I mean, I think the company's awesome. I think Run8's awesome. I think it's the best simulator out there, but at the same time, and I've said it before, when they brought version 2, I said to myself, I mean, guys, I hope you guys take a vacation, because you deserved it, because Run8 version 2 was awesome when it came out. But now I'm getting to that phase where it's just like, okay, well, I've seen some cars come out, I've seen a few other things, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Part of the problem is, too, I don't have, I've been very reliant on what they provide us versus doing things yourself. And RTS version 1 was a lot of do-it-yourself kind of thing. Not to mention, I don't think I was working at the time, so I had a lot of free time to develop it. Now the good part is I don't have to redevelop too much, because a lot of the programming is already in place. I just have to alter it a bit. The other stuff I can improve upon, but I am rewriting the code from scratch, as you've probably seen, and I'll get into the code in a little bit here in this live stream, actually. But that's one of those things where, you know, I can change certain things. Now, I'm going to mention a few of the routes, and I'll start with the latest project that I was on, and that was Selkirk Mohawk. And I believe I've said this in a few videos. I might have even said that in the dispatch video the other night. Selkirk has fixed a lot of major issues that they've had in the past. So we really got a chance to try out this route. Unfortunately, some other issues, especially operations-wise, came up. Now, these issues can be dealt with through RTS programming, actually. The one major issue, I think, is the hump. There's 3 types of cars that cause issues on the hump that I'm aware of. Number 1 Well, I might as well combine number 1 and number 2 because they're all the same. And they're not always the same tracks. They only happen on certain tracks. But regardless of that, auto racks and reefer cars cause issues because there's too much curvature and it causes an issue with Run8 where basically the car just stops and thinks it's split. It's basically a safety feature that's in Run8 that says, okay, we're detecting a car is split, so it just stops the car dead in its tracks, and that's it. And it basically brings the hump down to its knees. It was a hard lesson that I had to learn with that, and it happened a couple times. After a while, it just got really hard. But I think you could get the thing going, and I forget exactly what I did to get it going, and it's just a PITA. The other one is the cement hoppers, especially if you have a bunch of them together, because what happens with that is the hump controller will shut off, because now the auto pin will still go, and then if you don't pay attention to it, you don't stop your train in time, you're screwed, because now all of a sudden you're starting to hump cars all over the place where you're not supposed to. Yeah, something with the timing on those shorter cars. I don't see it in other humps. I haven't seen it in other humps that I'm aware of, but it happens in Selkirk Mohawk. Why it does, I don't know. So these are issues with the hump that made me decide to abandon the hump and go with something different, which was going to locals and sticking with mainline trains that were just built out. I was okay with it. Everything was fine, but there was only myself and Jerry were the only main users on. We had a few others that would come and go a little bit, but other than that, there wasn't too much going on. I decided that the most fun I had with the route was when the hump was working, and I had that control going, and at least I had that going, but I'm just not 100% sure. And it doesn't seem like there's the popularity there. So I'm not too sure about that. Florida, I think the popularity's there, but I don't want to step on any toes. So with Florida, and I'll transition over to Florida now. Florida, we're due for an expansion. I would imagine I don't know for sure, but we don't. It's going to be basically. I'll say the same thing. RTS will be ready when it's ready. RTS 2 will be ready when it's ready, I should say. I imagine the same thing holds true for Jason and company too, as far as getting the A-line expansion or whatever it is for Waycross. We've already seen a lot, so I assume it's got to be pretty close. I wouldn't be surprised to see it before RTS 2, which kind of makes things interesting, because then it depends on what the RTS Florida server does with it. For me personally, I don't know. I understand that there is a dispatcher that comes on, and he's on, and they're still running 24/7, which is fine. I'll get to 24/7 in a second, but sometimes it's busy, other times it's not. Sometimes there's stuff to do, other times there's not. That holds true with running sessions too, especially if you have people who are running the trains, or there's no trains available at a certain time of day, and you come up to that certain time of day and they want to run switchers and there are no switchers. But I mean, things run a lot different depending upon what server you're on. I like the idea of the hump. I like the idea of 100 tracks, despite the fact that I have no intentions of filling up the entire hump. I certainly do plan on using all 100 tracks. That's what they're there for. How I do it and how I manage it, I have some ideas. So I plan on at least giving it a shot. But then again, I may see what Tom does first and not worry about it and just focus. It all depends on timing. Now, California, RTS California has not been around since Mike. Mike had a train trip. I don't know what it is about train trips, but they make you think, and they made him think a lot, and he decided he needed to change. For the record, Mike and I are supposed to be talking at some point. I don't know if we're going to be talking Sunday or whatever. We've tossed some ideas back and forth. I'm waiting. I do want to talk with him and hopefully try to better explain or answer any questions he has of what I'm trying to figure out or what I'm trying to get out of what it is that I'm trying to do, basically, I guess. Because I know he had questions, so I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I'm also curious where he's headed as far as, you know, what some of his goals are. I decided a couple weeks ago. No, maybe it was just shortly after I came back and I realized I had no interest in Selkirk Mohawk. I did know that I missed dispatching in California, so I thought, and there was that expansion for California that had just come out, so I thought, well, let me see what Mike's up to, and if he needs another dispatcher at night so that he could dispatch the East End, including the new section. So I have been dispatching. I dispatched last week. He was away on vacation. I dispatched it Tuesday and Thursday before that, and that was some pretty cool nostalgia. It was fun. Last night I dispatched, and it was okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular or massively feeling great or anything. And this is where I started getting to, like, do I look forward to dispatching tomorrow? Not really. I can't say I do. I'd be lying if I said I did. Do I dread it? No, I don't dread it. I got nothing else going on, so why not? And that's the way I am right now. Do I have anything that I would rather be doing? Not really. So that's another thing too. As long as that's even keel, I'm not too worried about. I'm not too worried so much if I'm depriving myself of something else, or if I've lost interest and I long to do something else. Put it this way: if I long to do something else, I'm going to do something else. That's the bottom line. Even if it meant giving up Run8, and I can tell you right now, I'm not at that point. I'm certainly not at that point. This is my major hobby. This is my replacement for model railroading. This is what I intend to do. Now, I've certainly looked at other things. I was looking at Train Sim World, and that was from what I can tell, has been nothing but a dismal failure, at least in my eyes. They had so so many of them had so much potential. Cross Ties, wow, Cross Ties seemed like it was going to be the one that really threatened Run8, and that fizzled up. Then Train Sim World, I thought, okay, well, Train Sim World, now here's somebody who's established, who can bring something to the table that's going to blow Run8 away. Well, yeah, I mean, the scenery was great, but other than that, and they had a cool turntable, and you could start the engine and crank it and do all kinds of goofy things inside the engine compartment, but then it ran like a piece of crap. So it wasn't, I certainly didn't buy it. I wasn't going to. I'm watching my money. I have not purchased the expansion route for California. I have not even purchased the latest intermodal thing, because for me that car, more and more, I mean, the only thing that bothers me about it is the stupid box cars. But then again, here's the thing I can control. If I don't have to spend money on all these sets of different intermodal cars, which I really don't care about, then guess what? RTS can take care of that. right now, and I shouldn't say that actually. Well, RTS can't take care of if I'm on another server. So in that case, then I'm either stuck with it or, you know, put up or shut up. But as far as really, I don't even need RTS because you can filter everything now. So I totally forgot about that. So if I wanted to filter it out, then I could if I was running a server. But there's a lot of things that RTS can do as far as the program in resulting. As for Selkirk, you can get around the Selkirk thing by simply blocking the auto racks, by blocking inbound trains on actual manifest trains that actually are, you know, that are actually built up. I mean, you can build trains in Selkirk and all that, and have it do that too. But this time you can have it coming in both east and west. So you can have a train, you can have trains work in Selkirk, which some of them do, especially some of the intermodal trains, the auto rack trains. Some of them work and then they go on, they get recruited and move on to the next city or whatever. So I see potential for Selkirk Mohawk, but I'm not 100% sure. The route is fine. It's you know, I mean, certainly it's, like I've said before, it's one of the more beautiful routes, but I don't know. I just don't know about the double track. The only thing I can think of that might change it is the other issue that I find with the route is the HPT. Oh, cool! I'm spawning a train. When the hell did that happen? I didn't even think I had the thing on. That scared the crap out of me. I didn't realize I had that on. Whoops. Oh, well, whatever. Here, I'll just clear it so it won't bark. I totally forgot I had that on. I was like, what the hell's that? Somebody's coming on my server. Here, go ahead. Have fun. So yeah, I mean, with those kind of things, you know, if you can change the HPT and the HPTs are too high, then you can actually have passenger trains and intermodal trains that overtake slower freight, or passengers that even take over intermodals and stuff like that. But the way it is right now, the HPT levels are so high, even the worst, lowest peon freight that you have is way too high. It's like, I think it's around 1.5 or something. I mean, that's something that should be almost mountain territory. Very damn. I shouldn't say it's that bad, but it's definitely for like something like Needles. Needles used to be around 1.5, so that's something for that, because there's enough hills and there's enough of a grade on Needles. But for how flat, you know, even Florida does a pretty good job with theirs. They got theirs low enough so that there's room. So but that's something RTS can change, because RTS can then make the trains and make it as low or as high as a minimum as you want. So you're not bound by whatever's been created. And again, RTS means that you're not bound by what's created for the AI trains, although you aren't going to be able to just go into AI, though I'm talking about using some scheduling. And putting some scheduling features in so that you'll have a list, you'll know where to spawn it. Then you can just have the dispatchers or train master would have to be the one responsible for going out there. And you can save positions. You just save a bunch of positions, control 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Mark it on your sheet of paper. You know, that's the start with the spawn. You go out to that, you click on it, hit AI, and away it goes. So it's not that difficult to get those trains going. Though it is a bit of an inconvenience, in the higher density traffic like a California, you're going to be doing quite a bit of it. But then again, you're going to be doing quite a bit in California, because California is another issue, and that is the expansion is way too much for the number of people that are available. Like I said, I emailed Mike last night. it's not like it used to be for dispatch in California. There was a bit of a nostalgia feel to it, but then I realized, well, I'm not really as effective as I used to be. And there seems to be, or at least the feel, maybe there isn't as many trains, but it just seems like it's too much because now I'm taking over even more territory. Um, so I'm spending more time going back and adjusting. Now, part of the issue with that too is I dispatch differently, and the external dispatcher, as great as it is for Run 8, I want to be able to do now. The dispatching program that's coming out, that seems to have a lot of potential. However, I still want to do my own. I think I would rather do it myself. And the the crazy thing is if I can do it myself, it would literally be so easy to set up an external dispatcher. I can't tell you. I put it this way. I kid you not. As much as Run 8 takes for testing and trying to figure out if I've parsed everything and all this, I bet you I could write an external dispatcher in one night. And that sounds like a bold statement, but the thing is, you need Train Dispatcher 3. I got it. All I have to do is figure out where the or just use a block chart, which I think there's a block chart I have somewhere around for California, or at least most of it. Or I'd figure it out. I'd just test it, run a test program, and that would tell me which blocks are what by signaling an occupation on one, taking it off, signaling an occupation on two. It would go through the whole pattern. Then I could find out where every block ID is, assign them, build the track database. Okay, maybe it wouldn't take one night. Let's just say I could do it in 8 hours worth of work. So it would take me a good day. A stormy Sunday would be perfect, because then I'd come home at 1 o'clock or whatever. I would get that thing up and going by the end of the night, believe me, and I would be motivated to do it. The only problem is I don't know how to get it to communicate. I can't do that link yet to find out, one, I'm hearing what the protocol is, but then to actually write the code to do the actual communication between it and the external dispatcher that the server wants. I can't imagine it being that difficult. All you're dealing with is indications and controls. Controls are what's sent out. It's just like ATCS. Controls are what is sent out to the field to either throw switches or do signals, and indications are what comes back. So with that in mind, TD3 or Track Builder 3, TB3, can build the route, which I have. I can build the entire California or whatever route it is for free. It doesn't take me long. I just build a route within a matter of, hours at most. I could get probably every route up and going. Like, it would take me a while to get the external. I would say within a matter of days, and it wouldn't take me long because I'd be motivated as hell to do that if I can only get the interface. So if somebody's listening to this, they know what they're doing with especially modern communications with their various protocols and that, and they know what they're doing, let me know, because I'm surprised somebody hasn't figured this one out yet, because there's a program out there that's old that is theoretically abandonware called Train Dispatcher 3. And you can do Train Dispatcher 3, Train Builder 3, actually it's 3.5, and it communicates. It communicates with a handler. It's easy. So that's what I really want to do. So you notice my my excitement level kind of went up when I said that, because those are the things that I can control. Suddenly, I would be able to dispatch the way I want to dispatch. And how I dispatch, the way I want to dispatch, is a hell of a lot different than how you dispatch an external dispatcher. It's much more of a I can't explain how external dispatcher does it, but it's more dealing. It's not prototypical to me, and they stress that it's not supposed to be prototypical, but it's not. I mean, yeah, they have things, but they have it so that once a train arrives at a certain point, boom, trigger another clearance going the opposite way, and blah blah blah. The way dispatching really should be working is focusing on the control point for your stacks. It's all about stacks. It's not about when a train arrives at a certain block. It's about when one clearance expires, then then it goes on to the second control. So you have to think of them as controls. So one control goes through the control point. That's why they call them control points. One control goes through the control point. A stack is basically like a stack of cards. All you do, or you're not stacking them on top of each other because you're not overriding the stack that's there. Although you would have to throw away the card if you didn't want it by canceling. So you can cancel a stack. But all a stack is you're just basically stacking commands one after another. So the first control is set. Stack the second and the third, wait for the first control to execute. Once the first control is executed, that card gets thrown out and it goes to the second card. Now the safety protocol will not allow the second control to take place because the first control has a signal against it, has something else against it, so that thing has to expire itself. So if a train passes, that will expire it automatically. The other way of doing it is to withdraw a signal and run time. You do that, then you run time for 5 minutes. That also would end that control, and then it goes on to the next one. So as long as the stacks are in there, it will go one after one. You know, unlimited number of times. You can have as many stacks as you want. So fleeting is also different. Because fleeting, the way fleeting's set up, I think the only way to even remotely, and I do this all the time, and it bugs the living crap out of me when I have to go by every single signal and say drop after 3, drop after 3, drop after 3, drop after 3, drop after 3. I'm like, drop after 2. I'm like, what is this? I shouldn't have to go to every signal telling it how many times to drop. All I have to do is fleet it out, or fleet the stack out, and sorry, not even fleet. That's the wrong word. Just issue a stack. You have the signal that goes so far, then issue another stack, then issue another stack, then issue another stack. That's how many times I want. If I want to fleet the thing, that's fine. You can fleet it, but there's no cancel after so many trains has gone by. I mean, it's a cute little feature, but as far as I know, it's not prototypical that I'm aware of. I don't know of any system that does that cancels a fleet after so many times. And especially when you're trying to stop the signal flow and you're changing, what you do is, if you suddenly decide that you want to stop fleeting, that's when you start issuing stacks. You get rid of so then one train has it, then you stack a couple underneath it, and then say that other train that's going to head off over to UP on the Cajon sub, it's going to head up to UP, then you just stack it in behind that, and then the whole thing will go. There's you know, and it's no offense to Mr. Balls, because I mean he's done something that is indispensable compared to the original dispatch program, but this is only for California, whereas you're stuck for Selkirk Mohawk, and Florida you got the original TSCAD or whatever. But now, and then there's another expense. So now we're gonna have another dispatching program, and people are gonna, if they feel they're gonna buy it, then they'll go buy this route, that route, and that route. I'm like, okay, well, I guess everything's got to make money, but nah, not for me. I'm not against people making money, but anyways, that's my rant about that. Wow, how the hell did I get on that one? 7:09. Okay, so let's see. But anyways, yeah, I mentioned about the expansion. It's too much. I really, really would like to see a smaller route. I'd like to see these editors and see what they do, quite frankly. I'd like to see some of these things, so. But anyways, that's about it I have on my mind. I just wanted to let people know how I'm feeling about that. Why I'm not so, I don't know, hungry for Run 8 as I used to be. I mean, if anything is on my mind right now, I'm looking forward to the long weekend. I'm not looking forward to Run 8. You know, I'm here, okay, great. I'm not even looking forward to programming, to be honest. I'm okay with it, because I got nothing better to do, and I'm tired of watching YouTube all night, so. Okay. How's these clouds? Oh, I did see the lightning there. Is that storm coming in on me? I thought I saw lightning. Cool. Okay. Alright, what should I do? 7:10. I guess I'll grab a drink. Yeah. Grab a drink and a little snack. And then we'll go into the programming. So, I'm not running anything tonight. And, yeah. I'll talk a little more about different things as I'm programming, but actually the first thing I gotta do is not get into the programming. I gotta get into getting this data into the spreadsheets. Then we'll see how we go from there. I'm not 100% sure, like, various levels of the code, which ones I want to get into after that. I haven't really thought that far. It's been a little while since I've actually programmed it, believe it or not. But anyways, I procrastinate on this stuff, so just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So, my rail driver has become a snack holder. I've got like a little bit of candies up here too that I've been nibbling at. Probably not the greatest for me. But, okay, I'm gonna get into this program, or at the very least get into the data that we last dealt with. So as much as this scene is nice and all, I gotta get to work, so goodbye simulator. And hello data, wherever you are. I think you're here. Alright. That ain't it. You mean I haven't wrote the data? Or did I? XML? Oh no, that's the open office. Okay. Never mind. Just had to refresh myself, try to remember what the hell I was doing. So, alright. Let's go into Google. And go to the Mojave chart here. I don't know why I always have this one. Wow, it's an old one, huh? Huh. I wonder if I have an old one that's capable of doing this. Run 8-2. That's interesting. What is that? Let's run 8-2, but that's not what I'm looking at. That's interesting, though. Okay. Well, let's do that. We'll go with another spreadsheet. Oh, what are we going to call this? I guess we'll call this, RTS2 survey. So, in order to get what I want here, not what I want. That's what I want. Now, I forget what the data look like. Let me see. Okay, that's what it looked like. Wasn't comma delimited. I'll do a detect automatically. Converse text to numbers and dates. That means create new spreadsheet. Insert new sheet. Okay. I may change the program a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The reason why, number one, I can do it in this, but since we're dealing with the same fields here, I'd prefer to change it. It just makes it a little bit easier. So what I'll do there is I'll delete that. Now, in order to get that to change, I'm going to go into just basic here. Okay. Whoops. Sorry. Got a brain fart there. Let's try this again. Recent files. Perfect. Let's go into here. Okay. So, we've got the print. I gotta see if this will work. I'm not 100% sure if it will, if it actually will or not. But, I believe the was it semicolon? No. This is going to take a while for me. If I go semicolon, I don't know if that's going to work or not. And I might have to... Well, that's print. No, I don't want that. I don't care about the print. It's the print number 3-4 thing I want. Ah, I did it again. Jesus, Murphy. Wake up. I'm actually awake tonight, so at least so far. Yawning earlier today. So what the semicolon does is, as far as I know, this concatenates, but I'm not 100% sure if it will concatenate. I'm pretty sure the semicolon allows the line to continue. And there's a reason why, is because I want to have so many fields in a record of the file. I'll get to that. You'll see how that points out in a minute. Because we're coming to the... Ah, crap. Yeah, we were coming to the end of it. So, now, in this case, that's the last print number 3 and print number 4, which is our output files. After that, I want a carriage return. I don't know if I need it. But I want it. And we'll just see. We'll just see how this looks this time coming around. So it may not like this. We'll see. And it likes it. Hey Mikey, he likes it. Alright. Now let's see what it did. Find that. Okay. Well, let's see what it did. So we'll file import now. I gotta upload it again. Upload both of them actually. Recent places. Now, do I want to just do detect automatically? Let me try that. Oh, that created a new spreadsheet. I didn't want that. Well, what was the new spreadsheet? That's what I wanted it to do, but okay. Well, I don't want to do that. I wanted to put it insert new sheet. There we go. Awesome. Alrighty. And then we'll do another import. We'll upload this into this one. So insert new sheet, not, I don't want a spreadsheet. We'll import that. Okay. So in order to get the data to match, and I'll have to play around a little bit, but believe me, I'm not 100% sure how I want to tackle this one just yet. Problem is, once you re-import, you're copying over data, and I actually want to use some of this data. So, how do I want to do this? First of all, I'm not much for, nah. Let's go, yeah, we'll go with that one, and blah, and blah. Good enough. Can I do all of them at once? I'm not too sure. I'm going to assume I can't, but I could be assuming wrong. Okay, do I want to call that sheet? I don't care right now. Let's just get it started. Okay, so this is the data. In order to get this going, I'm going to cheat and... oh crap. That's not what I wanted to do. Back to Mojave. I don't know if Mojave has it or not. I doubt it. No, it doesn't. Probably not. Here's one of my old matrices. Give me one. Give me one that I like. I don't know about that one. RTS California version 2. Maybe not. California registry. I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna go with I was thinking of going with Selkirk actually. No, I want to go with the old registries. So let's try this one here. Oh yeah. So this is... well, that ain't gonna do what I want it to do. Actually, that's not what I wanted. Form responses, that's definitely not the registry I wanted. Let me see if I can change that. Trying to save myself some time and... RTS California version 2 doesn't seem to be here. This should do it. I must have had a different plan. Give me that. Close that up too. Alright, here we go. Okay, that looks a little... that's better. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. So, these are the... I want my sorted. Where is that? Wow. Do I even have... Was it at the beginning and I missed it? No, I don't see it. Okay, what? Am I missing one? That ain't one. What the hell? Get out of there. Delete that. Yeah, I want to delete that. Looking for the sorted tab. I don't see it. San Bernardino, Daggett needles, cycle, maintenance, power, tags, current. Wow. Train sort. That's not what I want. What the hell? Well, that ain't what I wanted. It's definitely not what I want. What? I thought I had a sorted after the registries, but I don't see it. Was it responses? Can't be. It's been so long. That's the train sort. Does that work? No, that's not what I want. No, that's a worksheet. I don't want that. Container flats. Form responses 1. Okay. Oh, there's sorted. It is hidden. Okay. Thank you. That's what I want. So we got a sort command. Well, filter might do what I want as well. Returns a filtered version of the sort range, returning only rows or columns which meet the specified conditions. I don't think I need to filter anything, actually. Unique. Alright, let's see that sort command one more time. Okay, sort command. Range, sort column, the index. See, I don't want to sort it though. Is ascending. Range sort column is ascending. Oh, is it true or false whether or not to sort the column is ascending? False sorts in descending order. I'm not too sure if I need to sort or filter or what the hell I need to do. Filter range. Okay. Oh, VLOOKUP. Nah, I don't want a vertical lookup. I mean, I could do the sort, but all I want to do is transfer the data over. So I can try it this way. How about we try it this way? I'll go with equals that. Yeah, let's do all 1,000. X. Value. Okay. Well, see, that's the problem. You end up getting value errors when you do that. Now I can go with sort, but I think I have to... Well, that worked better than I thought it was going to do. If it was that simple, then I had no idea it was that simple, but... No, that didn't do it. I don't want to sort it like that. See, that's the problem, is I don't want to sort. Let's try filter. Because I really don't want to filter anything. Not applicable. Wrong number of arguments to filter. Expect at least 2 arguments but got 1. Okay. Returns a filtered version of the source range, returning only rows or columns which meet the specified conditions. I don't know. Yeah, I'll learn more. So filter etude. Well, how about that one? I like that. Comma not is blank. That's a good one. I like that. That should work. Doesn't like that either. Range must... Okay, the range must be a single row. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, does that work? Looks like it's working. Wait a minute, hang on a second here. We went to 220. Okay, never mind. We're there now. So what happens here is Survey 1 and Survey 2 is basically offsetting each other. How much I can automate, and this is why I didn't program it. I always go to sheets when it's very difficult to program something. But I did do the automated part, at least getting this. This is all automated now. So what I'll do is I'm going to stick this sucker here. I'm going to put that right there. With the exception, we're now calling upon Survey 2 for our data. Why is that black? Jeez. What the hell happened there? Why does that look funny too? Okay, let me try this again. I'm gonna do this. Really? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, and now I got you. So I gotta put some anchors in here if I'm gonna copy it over. I'm surprised that thing even did any of that. I don't know what it did, to be quite honest. Okay, so I'm anchoring. I'm gonna anchor A and H. And then I'm going to anchor A. Yeah. Do I really want to anchor that? Hold on a second here. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Sound like Fred Flintstone. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Okay. Cool. Yabba dabba doo. Okay. So for this one here, I'm not going to worry about headers. I know what all this stuff is. So, I don't know. Yeah, that color's okay, I guess. Let's do something different for that. Alright. Well, that's looking good. And funky. Why does that look the same? Oh, wait. I forgot. There we go. So, now that we have this all drawn out, you're seeing the overlay of the different surveys. In fact, what one could do, way down here, likely, it works only for the difference, but the difference between each truck for meters, because this one's all 5600, the difference between meters along the line for the cement hoppers is about just under 13 meters. The difference between the first and second survey, the overlap, is about 6. Just under 6. So we didn't quite get halfway, which is okay. That doesn't matter. The point of the matter is anything that is anything that is see, that one's 165, so you're getting an overlap, but it looks like it's not that overlap, but it is. You're still missing a potential block somewhere, but this should highlight it. I'm not saying it will. I don't know what the smallest block's track size is, to be quite honest. So how much are you missing is the key. And the whole point of the survey is we want to make sure we know what the block sizes are so that we can survey properly. Now the good news is, at least from my recollection of programming, although I believe Ski was able to adapt the RTS software to handle this, is these 00 and TTs. As long as they're 00 and TT, they will work fine. It's once those fields start changing, then everything starts changing. So you want to keep it, this is kind of the normal. You'll notice in this one too, 3835 kind of takes off. And here 3744 kind of takes off ahead of it. So there's so much mind-boggling stuff that it gets very difficult to see where it ends, basically, or what's unique. I could be using all kinds of formulas, and there's probably, my brain could wrap around that. But for now, what I want to do is a couple of things. I'm trying to think now, do I really want to go ahead and it looks as though this was 5565 right there under the first section. Or we can even use this one, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some average car differentials first and foremost to try and figure out exactly what kind of differential we're playing with. And it's important to know what it is between. Now keep in mind it will change. The differential between truck A and truck B will change due to slack action and other factors. But for here, I'm going to go with N1 minus M1. Now, you can't use this for everything. In fact, by doing this, I'll be able to see what fits and what doesn't very easily. So think of this as a, now there you go. See, you can already see the ones that are out of whack, like these ones here. Now notice, so that one's, you know those are out of whack because things are changing rapidly in those areas. Let me change the color of this one back to the darker because we're dealing with this differential here. I could do a formula where I and j equal each other, do that, or I can just use my brain. My brain can see the pattern, so it really doesn't need to. But then I can do a quick look and say, okay, well, yeah, that's what. So see the differences. There's 8.185, and then it slacks around every now and then. So the common denominator, or the common attribute, like even right there, it's all the way down to 8.18. But it doesn't do it as often, I find. It does it every now and then, but most of the time it's going to fall at 8.18 or 8.185. Seems to be the more common, even though it goes up to 8.18. 8.185 seems to be where it's leveling out at, because notice how it's 49, and then there it seems like the slack action can move it as much as 0.005, which is interesting. Interesting how it does that. And that's all news to me, so there's a solid 8.18. I bet you this one, I bet you if you open these up, you can really, oh yeah, I kind of figured that. There's a solid 8.18. Makes you wonder. So 8.185 was the first one. Now I'm beginning to wonder if that's stretched, and if 8.18, does it go, that comes pretty close to more. So I wonder if 8.185 is more stretched. Well, that doesn't make sense. Actually, that now makes no sense, because you were talking truck A to truck B, so it's not like it's the couplers. How it differentiates between the two, I don't know how that works. Where it is along, you know, the amount that it's rolling, I don't know. So the ones that are popping up is these minus 84s and this 2s and stuff like that. Those are different track sections. Now it's scary because you look at that and you think, okay, well, wait a minute, did it just go from 73 to 75? But having that differential should, I say should, take out any possibility of a rogue oddball track, hopefully. No guarantees. But there's no way to actually do an accurate, because we don't have access to the various files anymore, we don't know what's what. That's interesting how that does that. So it changes, huh? Like, look at that. That's a difference of a solid 0.001. And does it really matter at that point? I don't know if that's the accuracy level or what, but some of them are just, they go up to 7 decimal spots. Now here's where things get interesting, right there. See that 5590? We're gonna in this exercise, we're gonna determine what the smallest block is. But I started seeing a bunch of twos. 5590, this is where it used to miss it in the original survey. It's missing it there. The scary part is, it could be missing others, and I won't know. But I'm going to find out how much that track section is shortly. But But there's your scariness right there, is because the traditional way of surveying it used to be not an issue. There was a time where they didn't use all these ridiculously small track sections, but apparently they did something to do with the grade, I guess. So if it's on a grade, it tends to do it a little bit more. I don't know which areas are flat enough to allow it, or yeah, you know, whatever the case may be. That's the other thing too. This could have something to do with the grade, but I don't think it does. I don't think it has to do with slack action either. Oddly enough, I don't know what it has to do with, to be quite honest. Random timer? I don't know. It's all off just by a little bit, which is fine. All right. So that's that survey. Maybe we should try the other one and see what happens. So I'll go ahead and I'll just copy it so we get that to start, but it's actually going to be, I guess it's going to be blah, blah, blah. Hold on a second. So F minus E, I guess it is. And right away, that one's going to sound the alarm bells. Ugh, love back scratchers. Awesome invention. Okay. So let me put this into the lighter cyan. And I will copy this into all the rest. And then we'll see if we have anything. See, there's that 8.185 again. Goes as low as 7.9, but wait a minute. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, that's where 85 turns into 86. I was like, hey. So you kind of can tell where, if one falls within the coupler, the other you can see where it ends. So that's kind of cool looking side by side now with these. You kind of get an idea of where the end of it all is, usually. Did I do that right? I think I did. Yeah, I must have. Alright. Okay. So 8.185 is going to be the difference between A and B. Almost convinced on that just by the second spawn alone, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. I don't know why it does it. I haven't figured that out. I can't think of any other reason why trucks A and B would be a little closer, a little further apart. That doesn't make sense. The only thing I can think of is it has something to do with a point on the wheel going around in a circle, but yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Or if it's around a curve or something, maybe it's the tangent or something. I don't know. Don't know. That's a possibility too. It could be shift. It could be super elevation. I really don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But I ain't gonna worry about it, because as long as it's within reason, it's gonna spawn for you and not give you issues anyways. So it's nothing to fret about. So now, what we want to do is over here. I guess we have to start it. I guess we'll start it at the top. Start that one here too. So this particular value is going to be it's going to be F2. No, sorry, E2. See how it highlights too over on the left hand side? E2 minus F1. Okay. So E2 minus F1, or it's going to be M2 minus N1. M2 minus N1. Now you can see that one's totally different, but anyways, let's start doing the same thing here. And you can see a pattern forming. Very easy to depict what... Ah, crap. Well, let me? No, it didn't. Screwed up. I hit copy again. Alright. Okay, so the last two isn't going to show me much of anything because it's already deciding. Interesting how that comes up. 4.505 seems to be the mean there. And then we know that. So what this one is, so they seem to be settling in on 4.5. Now these have nothing to do with the survey other than to give us values, a base level of data to come up with what our variables are going to be. And in reality, once we have the solid figures in, we're going to add these to our formulas, and then eventually we're going to get rid of these fields altogether. Although you may want to keep these hidden, because then what'll happen, there's a lot of things that you can and can't do that will automate itself with the whole surveying process. Number one, just because we survey with cement hoppers doesn't mean you have to. The reason why I choose cement hoppers is they're the smallest differential between A and B couplers. They're the smallest, you know, everything else, like car size. So, but, so what we're seeing is, with this data here, we are seeing, whoops, seeing that I'm not paying attention. I don't know why I didn't. Why is that minus? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. That's interesting, but that's almost like identical to that. It's crazy. Okay, cool. So let's get rid of those. And then there's a bunch over here. Interesting. Am I paying attention now? No, I'm not. So 4.5 or 4.51 seems to be hitting a lot. And again, my experience is you don't have to even go too far as decimal points to really hit it. You used to be able to check the car files out. You can't do that anymore. So now I can go back to my old data on these cars too, by the way, and I can see what the heck they were set up. But I don't think it's really going to matter in the long run. Did I get them all this time? Looks like I did. Not done yet. I don't know how I missed those ones at the top. I must have been paged down a little bit. Okay. So make sure I'm all the way to the top now. So about 4.51 is the differential, between the two trucks of the cement hoppers couplers underneath the coupler. So now you know, you divide that by 2 and you'll get the distance between the truck, and it's always the same whether it's all the cars are equal, so it's always going to be that differential. So in reality then you would be using 2.255 as the distance between the coupler center and the car. And slack plays no bearing here, I don't think. This is where slack could play a bearing, but it really doesn't because it looks pretty much the same as before. I don't see it. It could be an issue on this one, but since the other one's off, like doing its own thing, then I ain't gonna worry about it. I would call it preciseness. Basically, it's guessing where it is, and maybe it's in relation to how it is as far as where it is in relation to the sector map. Maybe I don't know what it is. Who knows? Maybe that's how precise the metric is based on pixels. I don't even know what the hell it is, to be quite honest. What is 0.001 of a meter? Maybe that's how much you can model. I mean, I can do a Google search on that and find out, but it's not much, I can guarantee you that. Despite the differential, and there's all kinds of decimal places on some, and whatever. Alright, so now we can... We know now that that's the figures that we can deal with. So in order to, first of all, I'm going to disqualify using 3835. I'm not going to worry about that one. I'm going to go ahead and use 3744. And I just you got to think now what are the formulas that you would basically use in these situations. So in order to find out what the length of these blocks really are, it's just a matter of finding the differential. It depends where the block changes. So in the case for and the hard part is you've got a lot of changed blocks here at the beginning. So you can do it both ways. 3835, like I said, I want to disqualify that. 3744 to 3836, I'm looking at B. What you can do there, in order to get what the length of 3744 is, you can take E2, just thinking now, I just want to make sure I get it right. Now again, it's the differential between the cars, so you can take E2 plus, so you're taking that value, and this is how you eventually you'll figure out the programming, how the programming works too, because these codes will be added, and actually I already have the code to do it, but so in this case E2 plus, let's see here, you would go with the differential of between the blocks A and B. You would want to use your 8.185, and because it changed underneath that car, it actually changed underneath the car, means it changed underneath A and B. You want to subtract F2. Okay. So now we have a block that's 13.12. Or so it's saying. That's what it's coming up with. You can use this, as far as I know that's right. I'm gonna verify that shortly. So this is the block size for 3744. 3836. And now you're seeing the pattern. They're the same, almost the same sizes, so they're probably almost the same all the way. 3837, 3838. Now it's going to change once you get up to 3839 here. Actually, 3839 you can't use the same technique. Okay. You can't use that same technique because it actually changed somewhere else, basically. That makes sense. In order to get that, now I can put it in two different places. Let's say, for example, if the last block was here, like say an A2, we'll use that one. If, however, let me use an example here where it ends. Okay, 40 is a good example. I use 3838. Well, 3839, sorry, 3839 ended there. Okay, so I'm still using the cyan colors, but in this case now, the last block actually ends This is the last track section, or the last truck in 3839. Once you get down to 3840 for the next car, you're already in it. So in this column, the track section changes underneath the coupler, or sorry, underneath the car between truck A, truck B. In this column, it actually changes underneath the coupler. Now, hopefully this all makes sense. And if, you know, I apologize if it goes over people's heads. So 3839, in this case here, you're using a very similar formula. You're using F7, okay, plus I'm looking at the average differential. I'm going to go with 4.505. 4.50. Wait a minute. No. Hold on a second. Well, I can use it. From a survey standpoint, I can use it. From a programming standpoint, I can't. Now, I want to explain what I mean by that. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. So F7, I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment. F7 plus 4.505. So F7 plus the difference between the couplers, or sorry, between the trucks B to A, is what it would be. So B to A, underneath the actual coupler, minus E8 is 29.235. Now, here's so what happened was your 4.50 was just a little bit more than the 4.28, so that's why you got a 29.23 as opposed to the last block, which is showing at 29.01. That was just before the track section changed. Now, I wanted to explain why. Here it doesn't matter because you're dealing with the same car from a programming standpoint. So from a programming standpoint, it's always going to be whatever 8.185 or whatever the car type is. So whatever the car type is, you plug it in, it's going to go ahead and it's going to do it. Okay? I can even go so far as to freeze up to current row 5? No. Freeze up to current column Q. No, that's not what I wanted. Undo. View. Freeze up to current column P. There we go. So now this is going to follow us along no matter how far we keep on going, which is what we want. Which is fine. And eventually I might even hide these 4 columns here because in fact I'm going to hide those for now. Okay. Now, the reason why from a programming standpoint I can't use that value is I have to divide that into 2. That's the only way it will work. And the reason why is if the car type changes, yes, I can go ahead and assume that the car that it currently is, the car type it currently is that divided by 2, but then I have to find out the next car type that's in the next car and take that value and divide it by 2 as well before doing that mathematics F7 plus this minus E8 to figure out what the value is. The same way of determining what the the differential is between A and B and what's between the couplers is the same thing that's used to calculate where you're going to plot these trucks. In other words, you need to know how many meters you've come along the track. You also need to know in smaller blocks where there could be potential issues. So I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go ahead and do these ones first. The ones that I know end a where they change underneath the between A and B. So that one doesn't. That one doesn't. Well, that one doesn't. That one doesn't. So I'm going through and I'm seeing where they change. That one does. See, now we're getting into bigger sizes. So now we're on 5566. That one does. Notice how similar these track sizes are. You'll find that very common. When you see that happening, you know you're onto something. See? That won't work for that. You see what I mean? I can do that for that. That don't work for that. It gets the same value, but it has nothing to do with it. This is the actual value you're looking at. So now you've been able to determine, just by doing that, what the actual track section is. One thing you got to be aware of, though, is the smaller sections. You got to be careful and make sure you've got everything, and that's where the differential will come into play. Like this one here, that's a brand new one starting on A. That one isn't. Again, almost identical track sizes, and you can pretty much guarantee it's 92.25, despite the fact that there's a differential there's a variance. That doesn't matter. See? 92.25. It's not happening for all of them, but it's going to happen for many of them. And when you find these track sections out here, this one you can't use, at least not for that calculation. Again, you can't use it for that. I get nervous when I see it goes from 73 to 75 and then to 77, as if I'm missing something. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. If I detect one that's really small and I can determine how small it is, then I may have to reconsider. But for now, I'll assume everything's okay. If however, you're testing and things start crashing, then, well, they get even smaller. Which means you may need more than one. You may need more than 2 surveys. You may need multiple surveys, and it gets a little scary after that. And I don't want to think that far ahead, to be quite honest. Well, that's interesting. So that goes to 73, and then it just kind of stops. Can I use that for that? I don't even think I can use that. That needs its own formula altogether, that one. Ditto was 75. So there's some really small sections going to be right here. But we'll deal with that shortly. Hang on, let me see if I can use that. I might be able to. Hang on a second, maybe I will be able to use it. I want to make sure I got this right. E55. Well, that's interesting. Well, it could have ended there, but 55 minus. Now that's the differential between the others. Let me come back to that one. Oh boy. So that gets a little tricky. But yeah, see, there's another one. There's a 78. And it goes to 80 to 82. So we definitely have to figure out what those are, but 82 we can do. There's a bigger one. 5582 ending at 134.40. We'll get to the tougher one shortly. See, now there you go again. So I'm starting to see 134.4 is the probable size of those sections. That one changes on the other. Whoops, I'm going too far. Oh, 5585, duh. See what's happening? This 134.4 is probably the same as the other one, right? Yes. Never mind that 399 crap. So 134.4 is the size of those track sections. A lot of times I find they'll use the same track sections. They'll just repeat them. I don't know if that's prototypical or it helps in the grade that they decide they want, and I really don't know how it works, to be quite honest. I've never seen what the thingamajig looks like, so so let's see, there's some small sections there. I can't even use 55, 89, 87. Could I have used 86? No, 86 ended on the right side. So 5591. So now we're in a different. Again, we got some small ones. Wow, a lot of those. There's ooh, that's scary, huh? 5.58. And I bet you they're gonna get smaller too. Scary. I bet you they're gonna get smaller. See, those are gonna be larger. Yep. Like, obviously, ideally you want to find a place where there's a nice large section and be able to spawn. Unfortunately, there's grades and curves and all kinds of other stuff, and you just can't do it, right? 5598 will work there. So see, now the track sections. And when we first started, when RTS 1 first started, they didn't have these small sections. It started happening when they started using them for better grades, I guess it was. Or better control over the grades, or I don't know what the hell. Something like that. So, that's that side. Oh, I've already started doing the other side, so, well, let's keep doing that. And then I'll work on I'll work on survey 2 and compare them and see what we get. So this one ends at 3839. The next one definitely ends at 3840. That's back to your 13.13. So there was a bigger section in there, and then went back to your 13.12. Well, maybe that's a smaller one. I don't know. Yeah, looks like they're even smaller. But notice they're all the same. So again, I'm checking columns A and B, and all I'm doing is I'm copying and pasting formulas. All we're doing here is we're trying to find, and to get a program to do this, forget it. I mean, the way we did it before, at least how Ski found out, was he was able to get into the track database and he was able to do the calculate what they were, and I'm not too sure how he did it, but he found a way of doing it. He had his own program that did that, so that worked awesome. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury anymore, but that's okay. You only control, like I said before. See, now look at that. See the difference there? That's the same. There's proof that the formula is working. We calculated it correctly for when it ended on the last one was on the A side. Then we just calculated it correctly for when it ended on the B side. So you know the formula is working when it's doing that. And again, you're getting the same typical results, which is good. That I'm gonna have to figure out. These little smaller sections, we gotta really figure out exactly. I'll work on that next. Maybe I'll do the differential next, or well, we'll see. I don't know. I gotta do something. I just don't know what yet. What was I doing? Yes. Well, it's not 8:30. Jeez. Time flies by when you're doing repetitive, boring stuff. Sorry, I don't get excited doing this. Believe me, I don't. Okay, there's another whack-a-mole, as in long form for whack-a-mole. Okay, so 5584 ends there. And again, see, typical result. 80, that's 85 ends there. 86 ends there. I might be able to do a checksum to make sure that those small blocks are indeed, well, I don't even know if I can do a checksum, to be quite honest. I gotta think about that one. So there we got 87, 88, 89, and there is a 90, see? There's your 90 right there. So what I'm gonna do before I get too paranoid here with these little smaller sections, first of all, that one here, I'm going to turn that into a very dark gray. It doesn't have to be that dark, but dark and gray enough that I know I really could care less about it. And then I am going to go through while I'm doing this so that I don't forget that I want to make sure I've got all my bases covered here. Everything's fine up to this point. 57, 55, 68, 69, 70, 71. Okay, there we go. So 73 and 75 I'm going to list as yellows. Those are warning me that we could have issues here. Now, there may be another, for all I know, there could be another number. You never really know for sure. Except looking at the way things are going here. I would say it looks okay, but again, I really want to find evidence of concrete evidence of what the smallest one I can determine is. I forget how small. I thought I saw one that was like 4 once, or some crazy thing like that I was able to determine once back in Bakersfield. If that's the case, then I may have to go for at least the third survey. It could be even smaller blocks. I don't know. So that's where 72, 73, 75. Hopefully there's no 74 and 76. That's what kind of scares me. And you might be looking at that and saying, well, yeah, there probably is, but have some faith in this. You've got these other weird numbers here. Yes, some of them are sequential. Sometimes they don't exist. I don't know why it does it. I don't know. It's in order, I guess, of however it was created or something. I don't know. So, you know, they might have, the developer might have went for another route or something like that. I honestly, I don't know how the map editor works. And I'm certainly not trying to crack the map editor code or do anything here. This is all about RTS. I could care less about trying to, you know, make my own custom whatever. I got better things to do than that, believe me. I'd rather be playing games than worried about that crap. Okay, so in that case here, I'm gonna go with yellow. And then over here I found, did I want to do a red? Well, yeah, I can, that's just to get my attention. That, hey, it's over here. I found it on the other side. Which I can check. Checking the other side, I see there's 73, 75, so that's kind of, if you're seeing it pop up over there and then it goes to that, chances are it should be okay, I think. There's probably a concrete way of doing that, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, okay. I was just checking that 3843, making sure that's okay. What was I working on? I was working on these guys right here, I think. 586, yeah, so I found the 5590. That's when I decided, well, gee, I better do something. 5591's there. Here we go again, so 92, 93. Yeah, that's really scary when I start seeing that. 94. Look at that, huh? And suddenly a 95 shows up where it's not even detected here. Well, ain't that interesting, huh? So here's where not having the overlap, you know, you start really seeing this, because here it is right here. You're seeing it twice, but here you didn't see it at all, so that's a good sign. I gotta figure out what the minimum would be, but that we could be potentially missing. Then I can divide and figure out what the rest is, but okay. I think we're okay. There's a 95, yes, alright. 96. I mean, this is sometimes a little fun, but it's really boring. Honestly, it's boring. Doing it this way is a hell of a lot better than what it used to be. Look at that. See, they're going to be all the same. And then for over here, I'll probably go with this one, and then because then you're almost at the end of the track, if I'm not mistaken. second sector was doing that. Okay. Well, now I've got to deal with stuff that I really don't want to deal with, but... And that is these little cautionary thingamajigs. So, 5573... Let me see if I can... I'm going to copy a formula over from the other one and then just see if I can make any sense of it. There's no promises, but it might. Like I said, there's no promises in this one. I know I can get it to work because I've done it before, but... Okay, that ain't it. So what that's saying is it's saying E70. Which it is, and it is definitely... Well, you know, that might be it. Actually, you know, I think that is it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. Because I'm taking that value of 0.55, adding the difference between the fact that it changed underneath the, or between couplers A and B. So I'm adding the amount of that and then subtracting whatever value that is, assuming that's the next block. If there was a 5574, that's where it won't work. And that's what I need to make sure I've isolated. So that part's fine. Now, can I get it to work for this? I'm going to see. Well, you know something? That might have worked. So what that's doing is it's saying, take the value of that, add in the coupler value, and subtract the next one. So that is right. We're okay. So these are the values. So far, now the question is, would there be a 5574 somehow sneaking in? The evidence suggests that there isn't. Evidence here is suggesting that there is no 5574 block because these are identical. So what's happened is somewhere a 5574 was added, or it was deleted. Maybe the old track section was deleted and used somewhere else, and then this was put in its place. So that is the subsequent number. The reason why I say the evidence is saying that that's what that is because you're looking at either, for this one, you're looking at an 8.185 to give you to that, but at the same time you're looking at a 4.5 to give you to the other. If it was... I'm just trying to... I'm trying to determine that my hypothesis is correct on that. The fact that these are the same makes me think that yes. The only thing that would change it is if there was a 4 and a 6, which I haven't been able to determine. If there's an even number, if this is like, say, 3.0 something or other, and there's actually a 74 in there somewhere, and a 76, I haven't been able to determine that. I will look into it, though, once we get into that red one, but for that I can't prove it otherwise, but that is certainly an even amount. So assuming there is no 74 and 76, I haven't ruled that out just yet. I'll keep that yellow for now. And we'll keep on going here, see what we got. So this is where it gets interesting. $5.58. Again, we're looking at similar numbers. That's interesting. I'm just trying to figure out here. I'm not 100% sure of that now. E136. Oh, okay. So 5588 ended somewhere around the neighborhood of that, which would make it about a 5. 4.5. Okay. I think my logic's correct on that one, but I'm not 100% sure. The 4.5 is in between. But because that ended there, I can determine what the next one is, provided that I'm not missing something, which in the case of right there, that 5590 is going to tell me. Actually, sorry. Yes. Bingo. It's going to be a 5.58. See what I mean? The other one's going to capture it. That's wrong. That value is wrong. It was staring right at me when I saw that 5590. This was the issue we had in RTS version 1 when we were missing one of these. Because what happens is, if you don't have the overlap, and you miss a track section, what that's doing is it's actually determining the distance between two track sections. that's why that's wrong. So that's okay. Nothing, you know, that is what it is. But we'll have to analyze the other side and see how it looks. So 92 is there. Again, we're seeing a similar pattern of 5.57. Seems to be floating between 5.57 and 5.58. I would imagine they're probably the same. Uh, 5593. I've got to get that one in here. And again, that's wrong because 5594. Okay, this is going good. See, this is how a computer program, like, how the hell are you supposed to do that otherwise? And then once it spreads out again, we're fine. 97. Well, I'm glad we did a lot of programming tonight, because so far we're just, you know, that's the way things go sometimes. Okay. So I was able to keep it all into the one, so that's a good sign. Let's see. I want to change, or I want to copy the formula over, but I well, let me use this one here. For that, instead of H and G. Well, that's N and M. Okay, so the other, so there you go. There's a big difference right there. The other's pulling off a differential. This is the same block. We're talking 3744, which ended here. Now I'm checking. I'm going to check the dark blue side, or the second survey. You can see there's a difference now of about point. There it is again, that 0.005. So what it is, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, really, I don't think it matters. But we'll see. That's almost identical. Or, oh no, that's a 3734, so that would actually be that one, which it isn't really identical, because that's representing 3744. This one's representing 3836. 3837. 3838. Now, 3839, or 3839 I'm going to have to throw over here. I gotta change that now. That don't look right. I screwed something up there. Oh. Okay, fine. Thought something looked weird there. So that one's ending there. That ain't right. Oh yeah, it is. So it's ending on truck B here, whereas the other one is ending on truck A. And it's coming up with pretty much the same data, so that's pretty cool. Okay. So now we will start. I think I'll work on this side first. The ones that end over here. Like that, that, that. 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 That one's not ending there. That one is. Now because the overlap, sometimes they're on a different block. Other times it's not. That one it is. Okay, now we get to the fun part. $72. 75 should be interesting. Okay. That's a good sign. I think when you have a differential and it's doing it from one to the other, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself at least it's above 4. I gotta really do some deep thought onto that one, to be quite honest, but I'll do that later. I didn't do 55. Wait. Hold on a second here. I missed one over on this side? Shoot, I did. Oh no, I did 77, then I didn't do 78, and I didn't do 80. Interesting. It's 80 I missed. Or, no, I missed both of them. Why do I have it on that one? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, that's okay. Because I have 2. Yes. That's right. Alright. At least I got that figured out. Why did I do 1 here? Okay, 72, 75, 77, 80. Okay, gotcha. $77, $80. $82, $83. $84. $85 ends on the other side. 86 ends there. 87 ends over on the other side. Did I do the other sides yet? No. Okay. I'll figure that out in a minute. 58. I gotta do 58.89 as well. And then so this will be the magic one. 55.90. Really? 5.57. Wasn't that sweet? Which is basically what that is, so no surprise there, but I'm just interesting though. I never mind. I don't know why I found that so interesting. It's out of me. I'm not with it. Sometimes my brain does that. Okay. Next. Yeah, we're still using the same 5.57. 94, that'll do the same thing, except what's it doing there? Oh, I see, it missed 9.5. Which is interesting. See that? Nine five became a red for here because we don't have any 9.5s there. Oh, that's cute. So 9.4. $90 is correct. Oh, it's red there because it's the other, but here I found it. Alright, never mind. Oh, I see. I have reds on both sides, so that one's not really a red. That's just a, this one's a red. That one's just a regular. Oops, that's a little too dark. Let's go with that one. So what's happening there is that's not a red either. That's fine. We're getting the 5595 through that because it's reporting it. So it reports on the red. I put reds on there for the other ones. Okay. So I ended up reporting it on the other side. Just like that one doesn't report 94, but the other one doesn't report 95. Makes sense? Hopefully it does. 6. Yeah. So I have some deep thought to go into here, because I wanna make sure that I have indeed figured out. But let me finish this up first. All this is confirming. It's cross-referencing and confirming that everything else is fine. So over on the other side, let me finish off on those. Then we'll eventually get to our little deep thought session. Yep, so that's a 6. So 73, and that's a good sign right there. Unless we're dealing with a 3-point. I can't see us dealing with a 3-point, but you never know. And that's where I gotta do this whole deep thought thing. I gotta figure out, would they actually somehow manage to get some 3-point whatever's in there. And who knows? I mean, there could be an odd. I've seen different numbers be used before, all kinds of crazy things. But judging by what I'm seeing, although I don't see a 5579, we should be okay. No guarantee on that, but we should be. I got confidence on that, but we'll see. 84, 85. And the only way to do it, really, the best way to make sure is to simply spawn one more and just see. And, you know, if you need 2 surveys, then I can change the program to do it. I'd hate to have to do 2 surveys, though. But you never know, right? Since something 5580, yeah. Off the La La Land there. There we go. Wow, 906. Like I said, time has flies when you're doing mundane stuff. Not really. Well, it kind of does. Okay, so 5587. Yep. 588, 5599. 5589, I should say. So this is where we caught it. That one right there. Now we did get 50. Did we get 5594? I don't think we did. Because there was a 5595, so we can assume that pretty much divides into 2. Oh, it's getting a little scary. And I'll put one down here. All that does is add 4 more to it to give it a final block size, even though it's probably a little bit bigger than that. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the differentials between one of the bigger blocks here. So, what we have there we're able to capture I'm just trying to think now. So I see 16, 24. I see a 22. I even see an 18. The question is, so it's a little difficult because you have the ones in between. if it goes under 4, it could be potentially hidden, I would imagine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this safe here and see if I've covered all the bases. I honestly, I forget how small. I thought the track sections could be as low as 1, which is freaking crazy, but you know. So let's just cover our bases here and just make sure we've got everything going on. Once that loads up to the clouds, I'm just gonna grab one last little snack for the night. So we're into New York. Let's survey 220 and 220. Is that what I called it? Did I really call it that? I guess I did. So those are the couplers. Should have done it with the middle of the truck, but I wasn't thinking. So now we find out how low can low go. That's a little closer than I thought it was. Okay, hang on a second. I wonder if it'll go this way. It does too. Put it right in the middle. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do with that. I can change the program so that it'll add in that data, and that's kind of like a safety valve to make sure that we've indeed checked every single potential track section that we can think of. Keep in mind the difference between the couplers is only 4, so we're really starting to that doesn't matter so much. What that's dividing now is the difference between the we're now I take this back again for a second. This first one already divided the 8 to the 4, so this divided it into at least a 4. This takes it down to well, 4 point something. This takes it down to a 2 point something. I can't think of what else would actually somehow manage to cope its way in there, although I mean it's possible. But let me just oh, I already saved it. Okay, let me get out of there for a minute. So the issue here we're having, okay, we figured out what 90 was. There was one that we were thinking that we might be missing. Now, let me go right back to the top then. Here it's hard to say. It goes from 3744 and then it just starts on the 3836. We're assuming everything's okay there, but then again, who knows? We'll know in a second. Well, at least we think we'll know in a second. But I don't see any room for warning there. To me, that sounds, well, I don't know. It's kind of weird how it goes from 3835 and then they added a block to 3744 in between, and then it goes back to 3836. So there's a different track section that they added in there, or was already in there before and then they added it, or I don't know. However that works. Over here it starts skipping over to 5500 series, and then it stays that way for the majority of which we don't see a 74. So I'm going to be searching for a 74 in here, just in case that's gone down to 3. But my guess is it hasn't. Actually, I'll deal with the red one first. I'll deal with the reds. We're confident with that one, actually. It's one of the other reds we weren't so confident about. Where the hell did it go? Is it that one? No. Yeah, it might be. That's pretty much a done deal. 96, we got 95. It was 94 we weren't too sure about, but then that's dividing into 6, so you just divide that by 2, you should be fine. I think the only one we're potentially missing, we even got 5590 here. So that was able to give us 5589, which is fine. I think this was the one right there. Actually, there's 2 of them. 5574 and 5579. I'll be curious to see if those are actually part of it. And this is how you can just do this additional. I'll show you how easy it is to see. So we've got that. We go into, let me get right out of there. You go into, I guess it goes back into your whole trains. Yep. Okay. So you want to go into the XML, edit that. Did I say which numbers I thought it was? So 5574. Let's see if we can find one. So all you do is Control F. 5574. Find next. And I think it found it. There it is. Look at that. Well, that changes a lot of things, but at least we found it. I think what I'll do is I'm going to add in the third survey into the program and just be on the safe side. But there's 5574, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to find what do you call it? 5579. I'm almost certain of that now. So this is going to be a 3-point something or other. That'll be divided into two. There is a 3. We have no evidence that there's anything smaller than that, and the chances of you hitting it become slim to none. Absolutely slim to none. Who's to say it isn't going to happen? And if it ever does, then we debug the hell out of it and we'll find it. Or you debug the hell out of it and find it, because maybe I won't be around to debug the hell out of it and find it. But what was the other one? I bet you we'll find the other one too. 5579. I bet you we'll find it now. I'm almost certain of that. Yep, told you. So these little things, here's the thing, they don't always hit. Keep in mind, the reason why Bakersfield became, for those of you who recall Bakersfield being an issue, the reason why Bakersfield became an issue, it only happened on it only happened on certain cars and certain trains, and it didn't happen all the time. I forget how small that track size was, but it was pretty bad. What I'm recommending doing here is, unfortunately, meaning we're adding a third survey, which brings this sheet all the way up to here. You know, we can hide different other sections here. Like, I mean, we can hide those little smaller ones in the trues, so that might give us a little bit more room. Unfortunately, there's nothing else that I can do. But this is where you can't detect that into a computer program. You just have to assume something's missing because the pattern's off. So that's why I kept them yellow, just in case. And sure enough, and we're assuming now that everything else is okay, but to have the program do the survey would probably be the best bet. So what I'll do, I'm not done for tonight. It's 9:23. I think I can go for another half an hour. Didn't get far, but this is one of these major steps that need to be done. So I'm recommending now that you do 3 surveys based on that. And hopefully that catches everything. If it doesn't, then, you know, I don't know how small these track sections can get. I think it's pretty ridiculous that they're that small, to be quite honest. But I mean, you think about it. It's basically smaller Yeah, it's smaller than halfway between here. It's smaller between these two right here. Not the green and the yellow. I'm talking about the halfway mark. It's actually smaller than that. And it's to get a grade. I wonder if I can detect the grade on this thing. Can I do that? I'm just curious. Because then I can get a pretty good glimpse of where it's actually happening. I can even find the where, you know, which ones it's. We used to have yeah, there's the XYZ. Is that on that? Oh, yeah, let me do that. Hold on a second here. ACF, wait a minute, do we have, oh, is it? Oh, yeah, the unit number is still here, isn't it? 534813. 534813. Okay, let me just. Crap. 534813. 534813. Okay. I might miss it here doing. Oops, I saw it. No, that's 395813, which is interesting enough, but I don't see it. Well, I don't even know if it uses these same numbers when it spawns anymore, to be honest. Let me just, oh. See how the grade goes, like, somewhere around there. I'm just curious about something. Well, that's XZ tiles. They don't have Y anymore. Why they take out Y? They took out Y. Don't they have it? Holy crap, look at that. They took out Y. Why did they take out Y? I'm asking. I'm serious. Okay. Y used to be a good one because you could tell the elevation of everything, but they took out Y for some reason. I don't know why. They just did. I don't know. I ain't gonna worry about the grade so much because I'm barking down a wrong tree here. If there was a way to find out for sure, I'm curious about something here. Just because I'm equally amused by all this. I wish there was a way to spawn a set of wheels or some stupid thing like that, but I don't think there is. Oh. Okay. Other? Oh, there we go. That ain't it. Okay, let me see. No. Get out of it. Random, reversed, and clear. Thank you. Alright. Cute. Are you smaller than the other guy? Oh man, I just gotta see that. I know it's not gonna show up on that section. Wait. Oh yeah. Place train. Oh, holy crap. Are you kidding me? Oh, that is so cool. That we just... Can I do that? Can I actually do that? I'm curious. I don't know if I can, but this will be interesting. Get out of here. Relinquish that. I wonder. I never thought of that. I don't even know what the hell it does, to be quite honest, but... Holy crap. What? What the hell's that? Ah, you can't use it. You can't use it because you can't do a lead unit number. Ah, man. Okay. Well, I tried. You mean all I have to do is put it as a lead unit number? Huh. Okay. Okay, let's clear that for a second. I want to see if we got anything smaller. I don't think the cabooses I should say, are any smaller, but I'm willing to give it a try. Ooh. Are they really smaller than the cement cars? Oh. Okay. Hmm. Well, that's only 7 apart. The question is, yeah, I should be able to do a whole string of them too. Well, that just changes everything, doesn't it? It might not... I don't think it'll matter for this, because I'm pretty confident you're not going to see a big, huge... Where you're seeing the change into the small numbers is happening in the same area, and it's happening sequentially. So it should be okay. I'm pretty confident it will be. But I'm beginning to wonder if using the caboose is probably the better choice. Let's take a look here. See what else I have to play with. No, that's not what I want. I'll go with that. So we get the caboose. Alright, it does let me do that. What does it look like when I do that? Ain't that cute? Oh, look here. That's cute, huh? Wow, he's even better. I like him better. Yeah. I'll bite for that one. Let's go with that. Edit. Yes. Did I kill the other one yet? Okay, who cares? There we go. Go. Get. Okay. 9 and 16. Alright. So it's got that integer 1, but that should be okay. As long as it's the same track section, we're okay, which it is. So 9 and 16 gives it about 7 in between. So 7 in between. The only problem is it's hitting less than 6 to the next one. 7, 2, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 5. I'm just trying to slowly calculate if there's really much of a difference, which I don't think there is. In fact, if I was to guess, I would say that well, I would actually say that the second caboose is probably better. The SP caboose has got a little bit of a smaller one, but I'm not worried. It's so differential it really doesn't matter. So that one's got a 7. 7.1. I would take it. Looks like 7.1. Oh, what the hell am I talking about? Yeah. Yeah, 7.1. Which isn't bad, considering that you might be able to even go further. I can't think of any other cars that are smaller than that. But you can line up a whole whack of cabooses if you would rather. And then to catch the ones in between, you'd have to spawn one there, spawn one here, and then hopefully there wouldn't be anything in between, like really small. But that's where the issue becomes, is what if you do have that one, and what if it decides, okay, well that's the track section there because the system specifies it. So that one's a little further wider than a truck, see? So you can do the cabooses. I'd rather go with the program, to be quite honest. So let the program do it, make it a lot easier on yourself. Okay, where's my signals here? Oh, is it way back here? Oh, it's that one. Okay, fine. We go down here. Get that cloud of doom into the picture here. Oh, that's a nice shot. Okay, I'll be a few minutes. I'm just going to get myself my holy crap, it's gonna be a late snack. Or did I actually have no, did I miss it? I can't no, I don't think I did. I'll know when I check inside, but anyways. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a late snack and then I guess I'm gonna keep working on this a tiny bit longer or add to the program so that we can I really don't need to. I mean I should. Because really by looking at it you can sum up what you're missing, but just to be more, I guess, more user friendly, do I really want to add the third one, or do I want to just use the sheets? Problem is, if you miss one, then well, the thing is, if things start screwing up on you, you know something's wrong with the track section, then um, you can find out what's going on. Sometimes it tells you what I used to tell you which truck was corrupted too. So then you can further investigate and say, okay, something's wrong there. I think that's what we used to do. Bakersfield, we used to plant those flags around. Anyways, take a break for a minute, and I'll be back shortly, so enjoy the view. Okay, so I'm trying to debate while I was getting my stuff here done. Oh shoot, I gotta go get my laundry. Well, guess what? Hold on a second. I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. So 9:47. I'm just trying to debate how much coding would be required, and is it really worth it? Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'd have to enter section and start nodes for a third survey. I'd have to open up another file. And it still wouldn't guarantee anything. Now, if we use cabooses, that might change the probability of one of them hitting it. Not guaranteeing, of course, but it helps the probability. Let me see here. We'd input our stuff. You're basically taking the whole program and put it this way, it can be done, but just by me going into the file, I was able to determine what was happening. So I would say probably not necessary. At least that's what I'm getting at. From my standpoint, I'm convinced enough that I'd be able to do it Then if there was an issue, then I could debug it. And that's what it really comes down to, is because we don't have the data, and I don't think I actually, Ski was the one that checked into it for me. We don't have the data for the track database anymore. So we don't know where they are. I can go to version 1 and play around, but that doesn't guarantee version 1 and version 2 is going to do the same thing. That might help, but it's no guarantee. What Ski's program did was it actually spit out all the data, so that you could easily, you just typed in the number, it told you where the track sections were. I think it told you what the size was and everything. It was really cool. So I'm more interested in just moving on at this point. So what would happen, and I'm just wondering if I actually have, I don't think I have the file block anywhere, do I? No, I don't. Yeah, it's pictures. It's RTS2. Oh, there's a lot in files. Ooh. Well, that don't tell me much. That just has the original program, which doesn't help. I wonder if this is going to give me a problem when I go to box.net. Probably going to require me to sign in. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Okay. Just for me, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. Can I kill that? Thank you. I know, it's awesome. Thank you. It looks cool. Very nice. Okay. Messages. Oh, okay. You've accepted this collaboration. Oh, okay. Never mind. Cool. So, I think it was it an RTS share or was it RTS? No, it's an RTS system made line. Blah blah blah. Where is my stuff? RTS alpha sample. What the hell is that? I had an alpha? Oh, that was back in 2012. Okay. Web documents, images, upload train or track files, Run8 screenshots. I would say it's in the RTS share. Yeah, and then the RTS system. Okay. Save track downloads, save track uploads. That sounds like a TD3 thing. Maybe not. What I have reports for an RTS for currently saved tracks and stuff. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, okay, this was when we used to save. We used to save the consist. RTS did something with that, but that was a while back. Okay, so RTS system. All right, here we go. So blocks.csv. Let me take a look at that. No, I don't want to rename it. I want to take a look at it. I don't like that. It doesn't. That's not. Let me. I want to download it, but I don't want to. See, I want to be backwards compatible, but let me download that. Okay, it's gonna go right into my downloads folder. Okay. Showing the folder. Want to edit it? Aha. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. So this was the way we did the blocks before, and works pretty good as it is, although it has see, now we're surveying, so we're not creating just yet, but there's actually more information in there, and I'm just trying to remember what the hell that information was. See, and even in this, I've got a bunch of ones in here, so I was able to determine whether or not we had those blocks or those nodes that went one. That apparently we did have set up. So we were saving those. And I guess it was just a matter of copying that data, which is interesting. So we copied, you basically had the block number up here, you had the size of the blocks, and then you had the, I guess the node. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I guess so. Now I forget how or what he did to get that to work. Or if it was something that I added. I can't remember. No, he did it. I'm pretty sure. So we got Magadan, we got all kinds of stuff in there, so. Those there are the X, Y, Z. I'm not sure about the rest of it. Oh, okay, alright. Here's the, I believe that's the X, Y, Z, and the camera, and then the tiles that they're on. So you got your X, Y, Z of the camera, and then you actually have your tiles. So maybe the tiles were always showing, but I thought there used to be one that actually showed how high you were going or low you were going or something, but maybe not. The last one is the route number. So that's easy enough to do or figure out. As far as I know, I can keep it backwards compatible. I don't see any reason why I can't. The question is, do I have? What the heck is Sacon? Saco North. Okay. West Bakersfield, Saco, Sir, Selkirk. Okay, Selkirk northbound. This is interesting. Hmm. That caught my eye for a moment. When I saw Selkirk in there, I was like, did I actually do something in Selkirk? But that doesn't make sense. Okay, that's just a caboose. I don't care about that. Do I have any others open up? Or... Alright, let's forget about that for now. We'll go back into that. I'm just curious about something. 3744 all the way through to whatever. In fact, I'll go a little bit further and I'll just do a 55 65. Sure, why not? Let's see if I find it. We go back up. Okay, so I've never did that track section. Wherever that is, I'm not sure where that exactly is. I never did that track section. Callahan, Winnaker, Race Pond, Yuma, Colton, Lone Pine, Oak Creek, Karen Fleet data. Okay, so, and then up here is the number of files or number of records, and then that's, I think, it. Yep. So pretty simple file the way it works out. Just trying to think if I want to go any further tonight, or if I want to actually start exploring the actual code here. Let me just take one last look. Do I have the original RTA? I thought I did. Well, I should have it anyways. There's nothing I need to do with that. That's doesn't even need to be saved because I haven't touched any of it tonight. Okay, there's RTS beta. Interesting that I don't have well, I got the application, but I don't have the, I didn't see the basic file. So what did I do with the code? I see the token, I see the whole documentation, I see, what the hell did I do with the code? No, it's not there anymore. Uh-oh. Did I kill? No, I didn't kill the code because I was looking at it the other day. What did I do with it then? That must be it right there. Okay. So now I gotta find where I put that code in. Or where it was added. I don't even... See, ugh. What scares me is this is a very old version of the basic code and I didn't update it. Now, why I have this very old version of the basic code is beyond me at the moment. I got a funny feeling I may have accidentally got rid of the code that Ski did. And the reason why I say that is because, well, I can probably find it again. The reason why I say that is because this looks old. This looks like something I had on my son's computer at one point. Okay, so we got the block ID. Go sub blocks, okay. So that shows the number of spawns. So let's just go with the one at the top here for a minute. Yeah, this is definitely an older version. You got the track name. Block ID? Sound right. Number of spawns. Okay, so the track name. Is that the oh. Okay, so that's the number of blocks. So see, that first one's the number of actual blocks. I don't know why it says ID. This is kind of a strange file name, or variable name, but anyways, whatever. So your camera and 2 tiles. So your camera X, Y, Z, tile X, Z, and the root number. Now see this section of the code right here, that's all brand new. That was added in by Ski. I don't believe I added it. And he added something to the program that was able to do it. And the problem was I wiped out everything. I have to go back in to my I'm probably gonna have to go back into my emails and try to find it. If I can't find it, then I'm gonna have to go without it. It's not the end of the world. The only one issues that they were having was at Bakersfield, Maine 2. Now, I can't remember exactly how it worked. I can take a look at the way it does it and then perhaps decipher. I think it just has to do with the direction of the. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the direction. I'm looking at these now, seeing if the other ones make any sense to that, but from what I can see, they were all. The only one that was doing it was Bakersfield, Maine 2. Everywhere else I have zeros. They were the only one that was doing it. Now I'm not too sure if if this dealt with all issues. No, Magadan was another one. Interesting. So the true false thing he doesn't play in, but that certainly did. So, as usual, there's going to be a little bit more work involved, but that's okay. Simple code to read it in, and then once it's in, then basically that becomes part of the code to deal with it. I'm gonna have to take a look at the more updated code and see what was added in. Hopefully there's comments and everything so I know what the hell's going on, but I'm pretty sure there is. Anyways, I think I'm gonna call it for now. Not a lot, so I mean the good thing here is now we've got everything that we need. We've already determined before I say what we've already determined that there is indeed missing value here, so all that takes is dividing this by 2. So you divide this by 2 and you'll be fine. And chances are it's going to divide evenly. It's not it's not a for certain, and if that's an issue, then the best way I would say around that is to probably go about changing the code, but right now I'm going to avoid it. I've never gone this far with this overlap before, so going this far alone is something in addition to. Let me see this for a second. Let me go back to that for a minute. Can I see the blocks? Oh shoot, I gotta find it now. I don't know where I put it. Oh, dang it. Oh, it's right here. Did it? Yeah, I want to see that for a minute. Oh crap, it's gonna open up in that. I don't want it to do that. Let me open that up in the folder. That ain't the folder I want. Show. Get. Sorry. I want to check. Now it's not going to let me, you bugger. Hey, downloads. Okay. Let me take a look at something here for a minute. Because I believe it was... Man, I'm having issues here. Okay. Get out of there. I thought it was main. No, it wasn't. Was it main 2? I thought the issue I was having was on Bakersfield main 2, but maybe perhaps it wasn't. I don't think it was Needles 3. UP Bakersfield? No. They're okay. Bakersfield main 2 has a 50 block section, which is not, that's nothing. And I'm wondering if I shortened it up because of the issues, but I don't know for sure. Lita has a bunch of 25s. That wouldn't have been the issue. Grace Pond, Winnaker, see, you're dealing with your 30s and your 40s. NS. Selkirk would have... See, they went as low as 9. Oh, maybe it's West Bakersfield. Oh, would you look at that? There is some 101s thingy-majiggies. Okay, well, I'll have to definitely check the code in for that. So somewhere around West Bakersfield. So before I end it, let me see what it was at. I see a 19, or basically a 20. I see 28.4s. Okay. Now those are the actual track sections as far as I know that I was able to determine. There's a 4.5 towards the end there. In fact, if I look at this a little bit further, I can see that it was definitely in sequence. This is the smallest block that I have seen, which actually bodes very well, because we just found one that's even smaller. We just found one that is going to be 3. So, yeah, that's crazy stuff. Don't know what else to say about that one, but like I said before, I can upgrade the code It doesn't take much to add it in. It's just then you have then what happens is if you're lucky and you hit a bunch of big ones, you don't have to worry about the overlap. But then, like if you're in the bigger ones, you don't need the overlap. It's the smaller ones where you have to start saying, okay, well, what's going on? Is this right? You know, because what happens is the bigger they are, the more you will find trucks that will support everything. It's the ones that fall below the trucks that you have to deal with. One way I think of getting that we might be able to get around it actually is to switch over to the caboose. The problem is I've already got this all set up for the. It wouldn't take much. And I could copy the data over and then just fill up the little missing blank. Yeah, it wouldn't take much. The only formula changes would be these ones here, and then I would have to... See, these would all change with it. So that's not too bad, actually. It's this data here that's going to get rewritten. So maybe that's a possibility. But then these ones here, these are the ones that are going to phase in and phase out anyways. So if I go to the caboose, that might solve the issue. It'll give us down to 5. Sometimes the coupler differences and the others will actually be enough of the differential that you need. But anyways, I'm rambling along, just thinking out loud now. So I'll have to check the original code or the last code that Ski had. I think I have that in email or something somewhere, I'm sure. And then the reason why I lost that code was because I foolishly deleted my Run8 Train Simulator 1 directory off of this computer. I still have it on my son's, but I didn't have the latest code on my son's computer. I happen to have it, amazingly enough, but at that point it didn't matter. And I had backups, but apparently not the latest backup. So that's all for tonight. Yeah, I should be on tomorrow night. I would imagine I'll try to set up a live stream, and should be dispatching California for a little bit tomorrow. So anyways, that's all for now, and I might be on a little bit later than 9:15 then. So could be closer to 9:20, 9:25 by the time I set up my live stream and figure out what my email is and or passwords are and everything. But anyways, yeah, that's it for now. So I think I've got everything. Everything else is automatically saved. That's all I need. Okie dokie. Shutting down for now. Have a good one. We'll see ya.